Next tonight, the government says it wants to overturn a High Court ruling on the Epping asylum hotel. Earlier this week, a judge blocked the hotel in Essex from being used to house migrants. It has been the focus of anti-migration protests, with more being held across the country this evening and this weekend. Our political correspondent Shihab Khan has the latest asylum arguments.
It is mainly smiles at this protest in Chichester in West Sussex today, but it is one of several locations around the country where concerns are being raised about the use of hotels to house asylum seekers. There are migrant hotels around the nation, including here in Orpington, where residents had mixed views about living beside one.
Well, they've got to go somewhere, haven't they? I don't see a problem with that at all.
There's plenty of places they can put them. What was wrong with that? What was wrong with that ferry out of the other side of Poole?
Today's protests follow the High Court ruling where Epping Forest District Council successfully secured a temporary injunction to block asylum seekers from staying at the Bell Hotel. But the owners, Somani Hotels, say they will now appeal. And the government is also seeking the right to intervene and be included in the case. If granted, they too are expected to appeal.
We've made a commitment that we will close all of the asylum hotels by the end of this Parliament, but we need to do that in a managed and ordered way, and that's why we'll appeal this decision.
The Home Office says it still plans to end the use of hotels altogether by 2029, but insists the change must happen in an orderly way. Today, it confirmed one site, the Park Hotel in Diss, Norfolk, will not be used to house asylum seekers after protests from locals. But the Epping judgment has changed the landscape of this entire issue. Analysis by ITV News shows there are 30 councils looking at the implications of it, and they could be open to legal action. This lawyer says it will ultimately depend on each situation.
What's particularly unique in this case is that the local authority had made it clear to the hotel that they were not using it as a hotel and that they needed to make an application to change their use. So in terms of whether this is going to happen in other cases, it depends on whether those local authorities have been pursuing the hotels already.
The Tories say it's wrong the government wants to appeal. They say it's time to listen to the message that's being sent by the public and the courts. For now, it will be a case of waiting for the legal back and forth, but until then, on the ground, it remains tense. Shihab Khan, ITV News.
Well, Olivia Guthrie is at that protest in Chichester. Olivia, what's happening there now?
Well, Lucrezia, that decision by the government to appeal that Tuesday High Court decision about removing asylum seekers from the Bell Hotel in Epping has certainly served to further incense the anti-immigration protesters here in Chichester. Now, there is a small group of counter-protesters across the road just out of shot, but they are vastly outnumbered. Now, earlier, I spoke to some of the asylum seekers who are resident here at the Park Hotel, which includes families with small children. One woman from Pakistan told me that everyone inside has a genuine asylum claim. But the anti-immigration protesters here say they are worried about community safety, and they say they want housing for British people. And there have certainly been an awful lot of cars beeping their horns in approval of that sentiment as they pass. More protests are planned across the UK over the weekend.
Olivia in Chichester, thank you.